Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about what is the meaning of perfect competition. In the last video, we have studied what is the meaning of market structure and what are the different types of competition. That is the perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly competition, and monopoly competition. In this video, we are going to study in detail the price determination in short run as well as in long run in perfect competition. So what is perfect competition? According to Professor Marshall, the more nearly perfect a market is, the stronger is the tendency for the same price to be paid for the same thing at the same time in all parts of the market. So the characteristics of perfect competition says that there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers, and therefore no individual buyer or seller can influence the price of a product, which is determined by the collective efforts of all buyers and sellers. Uh, all firms should sell homogeneous or identical products, and no firm can charge any price more than the price prevailing in the market, and all firms are free to join or leave the industry, and there is no restriction on the entry and exit. Since all buyers and sellers hold perfect knowledge of all market conditions, there is a free movement of buyers and sellers, and there is a perfect mobility of all the factors of production. All the factors of production are free to shift to any organization where they are no longer being paid a fair price, and there is a independence of decision making. Uh, all buyers and sellers are fully independent. They are free to purchase the required commodity from any sellers, and the sellers are free to sell any commodity to any buyer. And in perfect competition, it is assumed that the selling and transportation costs have no role to play in the determination of price. So now let us study the relationship between the average revenue and marginal revenue with the help of the schedule. And in perfect competition, average revenue is equal to the marginal revenue. Because in perfect competition, where any amount of commodity can be sold at any same price, that is why MR is equal to AR. The reason is that here industry is the price maker and firm is the price taker, and the firm has to accept the price which is determined by the industry. The firm can sell any amount of commodity at a price, which means with the sale of every additional unit, additional revenue and average revenue will be equal to the price and thus equal to each other. That is why average revenue will be equal to marginal revenue and it will be equal to price. And that is why average revenue line and marginal revenue line coincide in a horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis as reflected in the table. And we can see the table and the figure, and this is also called as demand curve facing a competitive firm. So here we can see the unit sold, total revenue is written over here. For one unit total revenue is 15, and for second unit the total revenue will be 30 only, and for third unit it will be 45, and for fourth unit it will be 60. And average revenue is total revenue divided by the unit sold. So 15 by 1, 30 by 2, 45 by 3, and 60 by 4. So average revenue will be 15, and marginal revenue is the per unit additional revenue earned. So it is 15, 30 minus 15, 45 minus 15, and 60 minus 15, it will be 15. And when I will plot the graph, on x-axis unit sold are there, and on y-axis average revenue and marginal revenue is there. So the both values are equal. So that is why the curve will be a straight line parallel to the x-axis. So the price determination and the perfect competition. So before, in a perfect competition, industry is the price maker and the firm is the price taker. So let us understand what is the meaning of firm and what is the meaning of industry. So a firm is producing unit which produces goods and services for sale, and its main objective is to earn profit. Whereas an industry is an aggregate of all firms producing the same commodity. For example, firms manufacturing shoes will collectively will called shoe industry. So as told earlier, in a perfect competition, industry is the price maker and firm is the price taker. The price of a commodity is determined by the interaction of demand and supply of the whole industry, and it is not determined by the single firm but the collective body of producers and consumers. So here the demand and supply represent the total demand and total supply of industry, which by their interaction helps to determine the equilibrium price, and therefore no individual firm can influence the price because each firm sells an insignificant proportion of the total output. So rather it has to accept the price as determined by the aggregate demand and aggregate supply of the industry, and it is because of this reason firm is said to be a price taker and industry as a price maker. So we can see over here, so at equilibrium, price quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied, and this is illustrated with the imaginary demand and supply schedule of a commodity. So the industry demand and supply is given. For example, the and price per unit is given. So we can see over here, industry demand is 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, and a supply is 20, 40, 60 and 80 and 100. So we can see what price the firm will take. So this at 60 and 60, the market supply and demand is equal. So this is the equilibrium point. So the price the industry firm will take will be ₹6. So price per unit will be 6. And now whatever amount of quantity a firm is selling, for example 20, 21, 22, 23, so they have to the total revenue will be 20 multiplied by 6, 21 multiplied by 6, 23 multiplied by 6 and 24 multiplied by 6. So total revenue will be calculated, and we know how to compute the total average revenue and marginal revenue. So we can see over here with the help of market demand and market supply, at the point where they are equal is the equilibrium point, and that particular price is taken by the firm. So this is the straight line, and this price will be adopted by the firm, and this line is equal to the average revenue line, marginal revenue line, and the price line. This we have studied earlier. Why? Now demand curve in perfect competition. So this is a demand curve also, and demand curve is horizontal in shape and parallel to the x-axis because the price is determined by the industry and firm has to no option but to accept it. So the firm equilibrium condition in short run under perfect competition. So what is short run is defined as a time period in which firm can change its output without changing the existing plant and machinery. So it is characterized by market condition in which new firms cannot establish, existing firms cannot expand their output, and new techniques of production cannot be introduced. So during short run, a firm has to confront with two types of cost. The first is the fixed cost and the second is the variable cost. So it is not always possible for a firm to recover the fixed cost in a short run. Therefore, its output decisions are not influenced by the fixed cost. However, the firm must recover the variable cost, and in case a firm fails to recover the average variable cost in the short run, it will not decide to produce. So in short run, a competitive firm may get abnormal profit, normal profit, loss. So we will be discussing all cases one by one. So the general condition for firm's equilibrium in short run is short run marginal cost should be equal to the marginal revenue, which should be equal to average revenue and price, and short run marginal cost curve cuts the marginal revenue from the below. So but the above two conditions does not guarantee that profit will be earned by the firm. So in order to know whether the firm is making profit or loss and how much of them, short run average cost curve will be introduced. So this is a very important line. So how it is decided whether a firm is earning supernormal profit, normal profit, loss, or it is a shutdown point, when the concept of average cost curve is introduced in this particular analysis. So let us see how. So the case one in short run is supernormal profit, and here the average revenue should be greater than the short run average cost. So we will be plotting the graph. So the first is we have to plot the axis. On y-axis cost and revenue is there, and on x-axis quantity is there, and then we have to plot the average revenue, marginal revenue, and the price line. So in perfect competition all these lines are equal. Now the second, we are going to plot short run marginal cost, and it should cut the average revenue, marginal revenue line from below. So and this is the equilibrium point. And now how the short super normal profit, your profits or losses decided with the entry of short run average cost. If average revenue line is greater than short run average cost, like short run average cost is below the short average revenue line, then in this particular condition the firm will earn the supernormal profit. So you can see the plotted box. So the plotted box is the supernormal profit because the average revenue is greater than the short run average cost. So in the firm short run marginal cost curve cuts MR curve at the point equilibrium that we have seen, and firm average revenue is EM and average cost is SM. So EM and SM is the average cost. So the firms get ES, that is EM minus SM as per unit profit, and total profit will be PESR. PESR will be the total profit. So PESR will be the total profit. One minute. Okay. The firm's average revenue is greater than the average cost, and the firm is earning supernormal profit. The next case is normal profit, that is average revenue should be equal to short run average cost. So this is a break even analysis condition where there is no profit and no loss situation. So first we have to plot the axis cost and revenue, y-axis quantity, x-axis, that we will plot average revenue, marginal revenue, price line. Then we will plot short run marginal cost. Then the equilibrium point will be decided, and in normal profit average revenue will be equal to short run average cost. So we can see over here, so this is the average revenue line and this is the short run average cost is equal to the average revenue line. So this is the condition of short normal profit. So at OM level of output firms, average revenue and average cost both are equal to EM. This we can see. Okay. The next, since the average firm's average revenue is equal to short run average cost, the firm will earn only the normal profit. So in the situation of normal profit, price or average revenue will be equal to both marginal cost and the average cost. Now the next case is case 3, loss, where average revenue will be less than short run average cost. In the similar pattern which we have followed previously, the curves will be drawn, but only the entry of short run average cost will tell us whether it is a loss, profit, or supernormal profit. So all the two curves are same. Now here we can see over here that short run average cost is greater than the average revenue line. So we can see here the plotted area shows the loss point because average revenue is less than the short run average cost. So PESR is the loss. So similarly, we can see firm average revenue is less than the average cost, hence firm per unit loss is equal to SE, that is SM minus EM, and the loss will be equal to OM multiplied by SE. OM multiplied by SE, and the loss will be RSEP. Now the case of long run. In long run, in perfect competition, a firm earns only normal profits. So long run is defined as that period during which all factors become variable factors and firm can change their scale of production. So in perfectly competitive market, there is no restriction on the entry or exit of the firm, and the inefficient one which undergoes losses would either shut down or would try to improve their efficiency. And on the other hand, the profit earning firms will attract new firms to be established. So with the entry of new producers, total supply of the commodity may increase. As a result, price per unit will fall, and consequently the profit will vanish and all firms will simply make break even. This situation is known as that of long run equilibrium of firm and industry in perfect market. So in long run, all firms only break even, that is, the firms can earn only normal profit. So we can see that no loss, no profit situation at which the firm's average revenue is equal to average profit. We can see in the graph which has been plotted over here. So when the firms are earning profit, more firms are entering, and when they and inefficient ones are undergoing losses, they are leaving the market. So this situation, we can see the fluctuating situation, and that is why we can see that normal profit can only be earned. So the equilibrium quantity, we can see that average revenue is equal to the average cost, and at this level of output, average revenue and average cost both equals, and her firm is making only normal profit. Since average cost is minimum, average cost and marginal cost will be identical, and hence in long run equilibrium condition for a firm will be equal to what? Marginal revenue will be equal to long run marginal cost, and it will be equal to long run average cost, which will be equal to average revenue, and which will be equal to price. So let us have a recollection before finishing it. So in the short run, if the average revenue is equal to average cost, the firm will get normal profit, that is only break even. And if average revenue is greater than average cost, the firm will get normal profit, super normal profit. And when average revenue is less than average cost, the firm will suffer losses. And if average revenue is less than average variable cost, the firm will stop production. And in the long run equilibrium condition for a firm will be marginal revenue will be equal to long run marginal cost, which will be equal to long run average cost, which will be equal to average revenue, and which will be equal to price. That's all for today. Thank you so much. In the next lecture, I will be covering the imperfect competition. Thank you so much.